Shalom everyone and welcome to Project Likkutei Torah. This is Yaakov here. We are learning Torah Ohr Parshat Vayeitzei, the first half of Daf Chavdalad, Daf 24. The discourse entitled Vayashkem Lavan Baboker, that Lavan woke up early in the morning, the bottom of Chavdalad Amadalad, Chav Gimel Amadalad. That what did Lavan do in the morning? He kissed his grandsons and his daughters and granddaughters, and he blessed them. Vayashkem Lavan Baboker, Vayinashek Lavanav v'livneisav v'varchashem chulei. Now it's written in Divrei Yamim, L'chashem Abdullah v'gevura, etc. Now it's specifically written in feminine terms, in Lashon Nekeva. Why? Because with a hey at the end, Gedulah, because these attributes of Hashem act as kelim, as vessels to receive, which is a feminine idea, the idea of receiving the divine light from our Ein Sof into the vessels of Atzilus. Because there's no possibility of perceiving the greatness of the Ein Sof itself, because the Ein Sof is not even shaykh to Gedulah, to specific attribute. Now, Gedulah is connected to the midah of Avraham Avinu, as it is written, "V'gadla shmecha," that I'll make your name Gadol. Great, I'll amplify your name. And this is why we say Elokei Avraham before describing him as Hagadol. That we say Hashem, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Hagadol Gibar. Now this is the praise of Hashem. His humility is so great that he can bring down some of his greatness to a level that we can understand. This means that his infinite light is drawn down and extends to the point that it can even dwell and be revealed in the aspect of Avraham Oyavi. Pasuk in Yeshaya, that Avraham acts as a friend who loves me, who loves Hashem. He's able to draw down this infinite light into Gedulah. Now we know that ha'avos hein hamerkava from the Midrash, that what does it mean that they're the merkava? That they acted in a way of bittul, selfless transparency. Now because of this, they merited to have manifest in them the Shekhinah, actual revelation of Hashem's infinite light, so that Hashem's infinite light and His attributes were revealed in their souls. And in the aspects of Avraham Oyavi and Pachad Yitzchak, now these are the actual attributes of Hashem's own greatness and severity, and they descend downward through them, through the souls of the forefathers, so that Hashem's infinite light should be openly revealed in the souls of all the Jewish people, in a literal sense. And this revelation is not just expressed in Jews' fleeting thoughts, because we know that all the Jewish people are ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim. This says in the Gemara, in Shabbos, and in the Midrash, that since a person's thoughts are in his control to turn it whatever direction he desires, and whatever he desires, he can choose to concentrate the thoughts of his heart. And sometimes he turns them one way and sometimes the other way. Rather, that the person's desire and will are firmly established in the focus and connection to Hashem. And this is accomplished through da'as, through knowledge and recognition and feeling that such a strong connection to Hashem, that it's considered as if a person sees the truth of Hashem's existence. As our sages say with regards to Avraham Avinu in the Gemara Nedarim, that that Avraham, he cares better, that he recognized his creator. However, the flow of this revelation of the awesomeness of Hashem on the level of the Avos themselves, which is called the Merkava of Atzilus, where Ivar Germoi Chad, where Hashem and his attributes are completely one, that it's not every soul is able to handle that level of Gilui, of revelation. Rather, for this revelation to be drawn down and descend into the levels of Biyah, of Bria Yitzir and Asiyah, where the souls of Klaus Yisrael, of the general Jewish population, are derived. This is possible only through the level of the Shvatim, of the 12 tribes of Israel. These are the sons of Yaakov. And the sons of Yaakov act as a spiritual intermediary between the Avos and the Jewish people, the souls of the Jewish people as a whole. Since the word Shevet, tribe, comes from the expression Koich Vaydeshavit, expression brought in the Gemara that Rashi explains. That it means to draw forth, as in a star that is drawn out, like a shooting star. Also, this word Shevet comes from the expression which means a staff, a wooden staff or a branch, or a big piece of a tree. Now, since the Shvatim are the level of Merkava, this chariot, which means they're just doing Hashem's will and revealing Hashem, an aspect of Malchus of Atzilus is known as Alma Disgalia, the world of revelation. This level of Hayam, the sea, that stands upon these 12 cow statues. I made Al Yud Beis Baboker, this pasuk from Malachim, alludes to the mikveh in the first Beis Mikdash, which was literally shaped, having these as a big pool of water that had under it these cow statues. Now these Yud Beis Baboker, these 12 cow statues, they correspond to the 12 Shvatim, these 12 tribes, which correspond to the 4 angels of the Merkava, each one with their own face. For example, Pnei Adam, the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, the face of an eagle, as described in Yechezkel. And each one of these 4 angels is comprised of the 3 attributes of the forefathers, which would be love, fear, and Avayira, and Tiferes and Rachamim, which equals the 12 aspects, one from each Shevet. So you have this simple mathematical equation that the 4 times the 3, these 4 faces of the angels times the 3 attributes of the Avos end up being these 12 Shvatim. Now from this level, the souls of the Shvatim, we're able to draw down the flow of Hashem's revelation in the souls of the general population of the Jewish people, of the Klal Yisrael. Since every Jewish soul can handle the level of the revelation of the Shvatim. And this is what the Navi Yeshaya said with regarding the time of Galus, of exile, that we say, that's said in the Tikkun Chatzos prayer. In Yeshaya it says, Lama tas'enu Hashem midrachecha, Takshiach libenu mirasecha, shuv laman avadecha, shivte nachlasecha. This translates to mean that why Hashem do you allow us to stray from your paths and harden our hearts from being able to fear you? Return for the sake of your servants, the Shvatim, who are your heritage. The meaning of midrachecha, your paths, is a reference to Avraham, the attribute of Avraham. It says, Halech v'nesaya hanegba, that Avraham Avinu traveled towards the south. And Umira Secha, that corresponds to the Midah of Yitzchak. To explain the idea of going to the south, south corresponds to Chesed when it is analyzed from the idea being if you're facing eastwards, then to the right would be Chesed, which would also be to the south if you're facing eastward. Now, the prophet Yeshaya complains to Hashem, Lama tas'enu, etc. V'sakshiach libenu. Why do you let us stray and harden our hearts from experiencing the aspects of Avraham and Yitzchak? That avanir of Hashem, distancing us from perceiving the light of Hashem's countenance, and instead causing us to be in the galus, in the exile of Edom, meaning excess emotional attachment to worldly matters. So then the Navi continues, Shuv laman avadecha shivte nechlasecha. They return for the sake of your servants, the Shvatim, who are your heritage. Meaning that even though the level of Avanir of Hashem, of the Avos themselves, is not manifest or revealed in our souls in the time of exile, nonetheless, through the fact that the revelation manifests in the Avos descends by way of the Shvatim, the 12 tribes, acting as an intermediary, this revelation can reach the soul of every Jew. Then moving on to the next paragraph. V'hine, now the aspect of Yaakov Avinu is the level of Rachamim Elyonim, of this higher level of mercy from Hashem, which is the concept of Hashem needing to have mercy is applicable even to all the highest spiritual worlds, as explained elsewhere. Whereas the level of the Shvatim, the tribes who were the children of Yaakov, Vayeitzei Yerech Yaakov, were on a lower level than him. That is, this level of Rachamim of the Shvatim is the ability to awaken abundant Rachamim Rabim on the spark of godliness that is invested in our soul. And this is accomplished through contemplation on the infinite greatness of Hashem, how He is Ram V'Nisa, as it says in Yeshaya, expressed in Yeshaya, and Chayla Kamei Klechashive, as it says in the Zohar, and based on the Pasuk in Daniel. And Bittul, and how all the creations are completely nullified in their source before Hashem, and among all other creations is the person's own soul. That when it was originally included in the spiritual place it was derived from, i.e. before the soul descended into the body, it was openly revealed how the soul is a literal aspect of divinity from above. At that point it was completely batal, completely nullified in the Or Ein Sof Mamish. So how is it possible that this soul fell so low, like falling from the highest of high to the lowest of the low, the highest roof into the deepest pit, according to how many details he goes through in this contemplation? and how much time? The answer is it's essentially according to how much arichos, how long he spends on his baininus. The more time a person spends on his baininus, the more he will feel this rachamim of Hashem, how Hashem took his godly soul from the highest of the heights and brought it down into this lowest physical world, and that which will awaken Hashem's divine rachamim. Now, in regarding this matter, this idea of awakening Hashem's rachamim, this is how the entire order of the tefillos are based. It's for this reason that in Psukei de Zimra there are many psukim that recount praises of Hashem, describing very high levels of Hashem's creations and mighty deeds. Since this increasing awareness of Hashem will increase his feeling of rachamim on the divine spark in his soul that fell far from the infinite light of Hashem, as explained above. Now, when a person will awaken rachamim in his own soul, in awakening from below, this will cause a corresponding isrusa dil le'ela. Through the isrusa dil sata of this rachmanis arouses isrusa dil le'ela. For example, lamashal, when someone pulls down the branch of a tree, and then when he pulls down on a branch of a tree, the entire tree can start to bend downwards. So too, this isus del sata of pulling on a branch of the tree, which is almost like the idea of activating and drawing down this level of the shvatim, the tribes of Israel, which correspond to the idea of a branch. This arouses this isus del le'ela of Hashem's abundant rachamim, so that Hashem's or Ein Sof will be revealed and expressed in the light and the aspect of our forefathers, to be drawn down and openly revealed in his soul. Meaning, that person should come to have an intimate knowledge and strongly felt experience as though he had seen it with his own eyes. As we say in the bracha before the morning Shema, we say, Avinu avrachaman rachem na aleinu v'sein bilibinu bina, etc. That Hashem, our Father, please have rachamim on us and give us hearts to understand Hashem. That since for our hearts to be proper dwelling places and receptacle for understanding this intimate awareness of Hashem's true existence and the level that is felt in our heart, this is only possible through rachamim, since rachmanus and da'as are dependent on each other. As our sages say, that kol mi she'ein by da'as, the Gemara says, whoever has no das, meaning no awareness of the true value of the important things in life, is forbidden to have mercy on him. Since the other person's mercy will not actually help him, since he does not really care about life in a mature way, and the other person's mercy will end up just enabling him to do more reckless things. Now, moving on to the last paragraph of the mimer. However, there needs to be another type of revelation from above. This is on Amud Beis, the second column, on Daf Chaf Daled. There needs to be another type of revelation from above to enable us to awaken Hashem's mercy from above through our Isursa Del Sata. So how is this? This Hamshacha, this revelation that empowers us to awaken Hashem's Rachamim, is from the Makor of Rachamim Elyonim, which is much higher than Seder Shtalshalos. That there, the source of Rachamim, there is the source of Rachamim, which is not even contemplatable and cannot be fathomed in any of the levels of Seder Shtalshalos at all. Like we say in the Brach of Vayeitzei Ohr, we say, El Kei Olam Barachamecha Harabim, that we, in the davening of the blessing to the morning Shema, we say, Hashem, in your abundant mercies, have mercy on us. We specifically request Rachamecha, your mercies, as explained elsewhere. Now, this is what it means, Vayashkem Lavan Baboker, that Lavan woke up early in the morning. Meaning the aspect of Lavan as it exists in holiness, because Lavan actually is holy. It means Levana Elyon, the whiteness above. That, look, because Lavan literally means white. It represents this very high spiritual level that's even beyond the world of Atzilus, because Atzilus would be the expressions of that white light into the various colors, which is this level of light in its essence of Ein Sof Baruch Hu. Like the analogy of the color white, which is different from all other colors, because all other colors are created through a coloring agent, which is not the case with the appearance of the color white, which is the essential color of the thing. It does not change through any coloring agent. Now, similarly, by way of analogy, the Or Ein Sof B'chvaydei Uva'atzmai, in its essence, is called white. Why? Because there's no hues or colors at all, meaning that no thought can grasp Hashem on this highest level of Levana Elyon. It's this level of Ani Havai Leishonisi, it says in Malachi. Hashem is beyond change. Therefore, it's written in our Parsha, V'hachlif es maskurti aseres moinim, etc., in Koi Yaimer, Nekudim, etc., that Lavan switched around Yaakov's wages 10 times. Specifically 10 times 10, which means he switched on his wages 100 times. That if he would say that he would give me white speckled goats, then he would change his mind and give me, meaning give Yaakov a different colored goat. So we're understanding this idea that this Lavan switching the speckled and the different colored goats to this deeper Kabbalistic idea of Levana Elyon. And that really the idea of Nekudim, of these speckled, on these goats, in the physical sense just mean speckles in the literal sense. But there are also, Kabbalistically, there are different levels called Akudim, Nekudim, and Brudim, that they come into existence and derive from this higher Levana Elyon whiteness, which represents the simple, essential expression of Hashem. It is only as these levels descend and are derived from it, this Levana Elyon, that they're called Akudim, Nekudim, and Brudim, which is not the case in the original source, that they're included, that they have no independent existence, and therefore they have no separate name at all. Therefore, that highest level, that it can change from the level of Akudim to the level of Nekudim, and from Nekudim to Akudim, and from Hashem's perspective, this is not considered a true change at all, from this high level of Levana Elyon. That's why Lavan was able to make all these changes between the white speckled and the dark speckled, etc. Since they have no independent existence and no separate name at all, therefore it is not considered a change at all. And similarly, since Zelu Umazeh, and with regards to the opposite of holiness, You know, the Lavan in holiness represents Lavan Elyon, this essential essence of Hashem. But in unholiness, the idea of Lavan is him being a cheater, that he tried to switch around Yaakov's actual physical wages with deceit. Now this level of Lavan, of holiness, which would be Lavan Elyon, is the source of Rachmim Elyonim, from Hashem, which is above and beyond Seder Shtalshelus. This level is awakened and revealed specifically Baboker. That's why, which is associated with Avraham, who represents Chesed. This is written that Vayashkem Avraham Baboker, in order to draw down the Rachamim, which enables that the Isus de la Eila is dependent on an Isus de la Sato, which draws down the Rachamim, this level of Chesed of Avraham. Now moving on, that as we say in the morning prayers of the Shema, Avas Oilam Ahavtanu, etc. Avinu Avrahman, that Hashem loves us with an eternal love. Hashem is a father of Rachamim. This means that Lavan kissed his children, Vayinashek Lavanov. This is a reference to the Shvatim, which are his grandchildren. And grandchildren are considered like children. That's why, even though it was literally referring to his grandchildren, it says in Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer that grandchildren are considered like children. This kiss from Lavan refers to drawing down a revelation of this Isus de la Eila from Lavan Elyon, this high lofty level. And what does it mean that Lavan kissed his daughters, Ubenoisav, meaning kissing Leah and Rachel? This represents the hidden world and the revealed world. Meaning to say that, respectively, that Rachel represents the revealed world, and Leah would represent the concealed world. Now moving on. Now, at this level of Lavan Elyon is drawn down to all these levels in a manner of a kiss, which is the connection of spirit with spirit. Rucha barucha, istabkus rucha barucha, as it is expressed in the Zohar. Now this kiss from Lavan Elyon is drawn down to all the mashpiyim, which is the level of banav, all that give over, which are called the sons, meaning the shvatim, that are all male descendants, and to all the levels. So the mashpiyim would be the sons and the grandsons, and the makablim would be the daughters of Rachel and Leah, Bilhah and Zilpah. Now this kiss bestows and brings down into them this aspect of Hashem's Rachmim Elyonim, higher Rachmim, which causes that the Isus de la Eila should be dependent on the Isus de la Sato. The verse continues that Lavan Vayivarach Eshem, that Lavan blessed them. This idea of blessing is similar to what is written in Bereshis. It says, Vayivarach Oisam Elokim Vayomer Lahem Piru Uru, etc. Umilu Asaretz V'chivshua. That when Hashem blessed Adam and Chava, He said to them, you should be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and conquer it. Meaning, the idea of a buracha is that there should be an exponential increase in the revelation of Hashem's light as it descends into this world until it transforms the spiritual darkness into spiritual light. as it is written, "V'nivrechu v'cha kol mishpaches ha'adama u'v'zarecha," that we should be blessed, that all the families of the nations of the earth will be blessed by you and your children, that through Abraham all the nations are blessed. That the Jewish people will be blessed. And this idea of the Kol Mishpaches Ha'adama, all the families of the nations will be blessed by the Jewish people, is that all the sparks of holiness that fell due to Shviras HaKelim of Tohu, this will be drawn out and included in the holiness of Zera Yaakov, of the descendants of Yaakov. And the verse continues, Vayelech Vayashav Lavan Limkaimai, that Lavan went on his way and returned to his place. What does it mean he returned to his place? This means that the time when the level of Lavan Elyon shines forth, this is in the morning, the time of Shacharis. But after the time of this prayer, this revelation ascends and returns to its source. So the idea of Lavan returning, that's the idea of this Shecha of the Gili returning back to its source. And this is why a person has to daven every single day. Why? Because every morning this revelation comes back down to shine onto us, and then it returns and ascends after the morning prayers. The verse continues, Yaakov halach ladarkei, and Yaakov traveled and went on his way. This level of Yaakov, which is the letters of Yud Akev, Yud that descends into the heel. It travels, halach ladarkei, travels and is drawn down into the fulfillment of Torah and mitzvahs. Since our sages say in the Gemara and Kiddushin that Torah ikrei derech, the Torah is called a derech, a path. This will suffice for the intelligent, v'dalam mavin. And that is the Maimer. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you join us soon. Take care.